I just got in from a great night out observing two of my favorite targets, Jupiter and Mars. Towards the end of those observations, I hooked up my DSLR camera to my telescope to take some high frame rate videos of them. My hope is that I can take the sharpest frames from those videos, stack them into one final image, and then bring out some fine detail that I otherwise wouldn't be able to see. Let's take a look at that process and work through these images together to see what we can come up with. This was one of the best nights of observing I've had in a really long time, and I'm excited to share the videos with you. Let's start with Jupiter. It was incredibly clear outside, very little wind. After I did some observing on it for probably 45 minutes to an hour, I hooked up my Canon SL2 DSLR camera, set it to 60 frames per second, attached a 3x Barlow lens to it, and captured this video of Jupiter sailing through the field of view. Even picked up a couple of the moons too. No great red spot tonight, but some of the best cloud details and surface details I've ever gotten on this object. I think that's going to turn out really well. Mars came out equally well. This is one of the sharpest videos I've ever gotten of this planet. It was a little bit lower to the horizon, but still high enough to get some really sharp video of it at 60 frames per second, even picking out a polar ice cap. So the first thing we're going to be doing in this process is using a piece of software that technically doesn't have a website anymore that supports it, and it's called PIPP. I'm going to leave a link to this in the description below that's going to be attached to the Late Night Astronomy Google Drive to allow you to download this 64-bit file that I'm running on Windows 10. This is the best piece of software that I have been able to find to take these videos that we just saw and to stabilize them to just what we want to process for future steps. If you know of any other software that's been created that does what this does and also is still supported with a website, please let us know what that is in the comments section below, but PIPP still works for me. Default settings is mainly what I use for this, other than clicking planetary setting like I just did at the bottom. I don't change anything for input setting. Processing I don't really touch. If it has trouble detecting the planet, it might mean that you have a video that is more dim than mine. I shot mine, I think, this time at ISO 800. You can always go in here and change the detection threshold to be lower, but typically having it on auto works just fine. Quality, animation, output, I've never changed that. It's going to make this an AVI file, which is going to be really important for moving on to AutoStakkert for our next step. Let's go up here to processing and see what it creates for us for Jupiter. And we will go through and do the exact same thing for our video of Mars, keeping the settings identical to what they were for Jupiter. So what PIPP has done has taken our original videos of Jupiter and Mars sailing through the field of view and now has made it to where the planets are stabilized. It has only captured the parts of the video where the planets were present, and it has centered it and created it into a video format that'll work for the software we're going to be using for the rest of these steps. So we're going to move on now to a piece of software that has been updated recently, and that is AutoStakkert, which is now on version 4. We're going to go here to Open, and we are going to start with Jupiter. So we have here the PIPP file that has been loaded into AutoStakkert. The main thing we want this software to do is to analyze each of the thousands of frames that we captured in our video and to organize and tell us which are frames we might want to keep to stack and which are frames we might want to get rid of. So let's click on Analyze to begin that process. So it's gone through with this quality graph, and over here to the left we have the best frame that was captured, which is right here. And then as we move through the quality graph, we get to frames that are okay, frames that are all right, frames that we might not want to keep. The question becomes, what frames do you keep and where do you cut that off at? What I typically look at is this 50% line right here. And for this video that I took on a very clear night, roughly half of the video was above the 50% line. So that's what I'm going to do in terms of my frame percentage up here that's going to stack. It's going to take roughly half of the couple thousand frames that I had and stack them into one image that I can then process further. So once we've made that determination, we're going to come over here and tell the program what parts of the planet to track to create that stacked image. I'm going to click on Place AP Grid right here, and you'll have some decisions to make here in terms of the size of it. That probably isn't enough, so we'll bring that down to maybe 48. That's probably a decent number. Maybe we'll probably go with 40 right here. 40 or 48 would have probably worked. You don't want these too close to the edge. You want them to be on brighter features that it can track, not near where the planet is more dim on the edge. To adjust that, you would go down here to minimum brightness, click Place AP Grid again, and that's probably what I'll go with. Size 40, minimum brightness 30. We're telling it to keep roughly half of the frames that it's going to go through and stack. So let's go down here and click on that. Go back up here. We now have a new folder and we now have a new image. We're getting there. That's a pretty good shot right there of Jupiter. Again, that took roughly half of the frames from my video and stacked them into this one image. I think we're even going to get 2 moons there. That should look pretty good. Let's do the same thing for Mars. We'll open that up here. We'll go through and clear all this and begin by doing an analysis of this video that PIPP put out. I thought this might be the case. This one is a higher quality video. So we're looking here at maybe 65% or so of the frames in this video above that 50% threshold. I would encourage you to experiment with this. Make it 50, make it 25. You can type all those different numbers in there and have it stack different percentages and see what works well. But for the purpose of this and what I've done using this in the past, we're going to keep it above that 50% line. We'll want to make these alignment points smaller. Might need to adjust down the minimum brightness on that a little bit. Yeah, not as much surface detail for it to follow. All right, let's stack that. And now we have a stacked image of Mars. So from AutoStakkert, we're going to move on to what used to be called Registacks, but has been updated recently into WaveSharp 2.0. which in my opinion is a much improved version of Registacks. The team that put this together, that I believe also built Registacks, have done an incredible job of simplifying this process while still keeping the tools very powerful. So let's go here. Let's start with Mars for this one. We've got this TIFF file right here that just came out of AutoStakkert. First thing I like to do for these is to pull up the magnification view, just to give me a little bit of a closer view of what I'm doing in terms of the work. Let's start by going here to the histogram. Now I'm not going to recalibrate the RGB balance because I've found that for Mars that can really throw things off, but I am going to go down here and adjust this to make the planet brighter. One thing I always try to do is to keep these lines a little bit away from the edge here, because when you sharpen it, it will have impacts on this as well. And now we move to what this piece of software does that's pretty remarkable, and that's the sharpen filter. How much you're going to want to use this is going to come down to the amount of frames that you stacked, and also just kind of some artistic taste. I tend to try to find a balance between sharpening the planet to where it looks nicer than it did, but also not overly sharpened or processed, which this would be, for example. I try to find a median between what I saw at the eyepiece and what my camera captured in terms of information. For this tonight for Mars, around 90 looks to be a pretty good improvement. There's not a ton of surface detail, but definitely with the polar ice caps and some land features. I'm going to go up here to denoise and click that up one thing each, just to clean up the image a little bit from any noise that's coming through from sharpening. And then go in here to saturation. And again, this is one of those things where it's all going to come down to your own personal taste. That, to me, is a little too saturated. I might do that more around... Yeah, that's a good natural look. The ice cap, some land features. That's a nice shot of Mars. Let's go up here and save this as Mars. Save it as a TIFF file. And let's load up Jupiter. We have our AutoStakkert 50% right here, our larger view of it. I'm really excited about this one. We'll start here with the histogram, and we will recalculate the RGB balance. And then we will go and make this brighter as well. From there, we'll go up here to the sharpen filter. That's pretty amazing. The Mars one was impressive, but the surface details I captured here are the cloud belts of Jupiter. This is probably the best shot of Jupiter I've ever captured. That's pretty amazing. I'm going to push this farther than I did Mars. But again, it all comes down to how you want this to look. Is it under-processed, over-processed? This is going to be entirely something you'll have to decide. But for what I'm working with here, I'm very pleased with what we have here in terms of surface details. I can maybe, yeah, I think you have to tell me what you think. I'm going to probably go with 0.110. It's entirely up to your own choice, but I don't think that's over sharpened. I'm pretty excited with that. Maybe click this up a little more to soften it just a bit. And then coming in here for saturation. Like before, I'm going to push this a little more than I did Mars. I'm very happy with that. From our original video of Jupiter and Mars to using PIPP to stabilize that video and put it in a format that would work for AutoStakkert. AutoStakkert then picking out the best frames, stacking those into one image that we then moved into WaveSharp to bring out some incredibly fine detail, leading to this final image. From a crystal clear night, one of the best nights I've had in probably 6 months to a year in terms of sky conditions, allowing me to capture an image of Jupiter and Mars that was better than what I even saw at the eyepiece that night. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and consider subscribing to this channel to join our growing community. But most importantly, let us know what you're getting out to observe and image, and any questions or advice you may have about the software shown in this video in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for your continued support, and clear skies from Late Night Astronomy.